Hello, Rupa here. How have you all been? It's been a long time since I made a video. First of all, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers for joining in. I shall have some regular videos coming in now. I was on a holiday, so I was missing in action for the past few months. Nevertheless, I did make a few projects before going, and one such project is these vintage fabric envelopes, mainly and highly inspired by Sigita. Thank you so much, Sigita. I was so much in love with your rustic fabric envelopes that I had to try. However, I didn't have plain fabric with me. I had these fabric scraps from the upholstery remains. We had recently done our upholstery here at home, and then I had a lot of this lovely fabric with birds. So I thought I would upcycle these fabric, but then this was just a bit too clean for me. So I thought I would give it a nice vintage look using the coffee decoction. As you know, fabric is very flexible, and if you need to make it into something like a cover or envelope, it needs to be a little stiff. You could use a fabric stiffener. I just added some white glue to the coffee decoction, and voila, I had some nice crisp fabric here. And I went about making these fabric pouches. You can call them pouches, fabric envelopes. These are multi-purpose pouches. You can use them as you want. It's totally your the creativity and your way of style of using these kind of pouches. So I just wanted to show you what I have done with these pouches. So once these were dipped in coffee decoction along with the white glue, I let them to dry, and then it came out nice and crisp. Then I cut it to the size desired, and then stitched it into these kind of pouches. So the edges are basically machine sewn, and then the actual construction is hand sewn, as you can see. Okay, this is how the envelope looks. Nice and rustic, vintage, with the lovely tones of browns from the coffee decoction. And I had a friend who made these nice crochet flowers, and then I have also used some handmade rosettes, which is again rolled flower using the coffee dyed fabric. So it's all fallen in place beautifully, and gives it a nice vintage look. I can still smell the coffee here. And then I've done some random stamping here, and then a small stamp which I've created using these stamps. I really don't know, forgive me, I don't know which brand this is. But then these are the quotes which come in kind of the stamp size. So I stamped these with archival inks on little canvas strips, and then stuck it here like a stamp. So that's how it looks in the front. Again, some postage stamping here with flowers, and then some tie up again using with the fabric dyed in coffee. So the envelope opens to reveal what's inside. I love how the stitching edges around the edges gives another character and dimension, and these loose hangings definitely speak about the project being very rustic. So inside, okay, before we get into that, here is the hand sewn part. So that's how the envelope looks, the pouch. Okay, and inside I've made a small recipe book. Again, these are vintage recipe printables that I got from the net. And then what I've done is again coffee stained these, and then given inked it around the edges. So this is about 20 pages here, different kinds of recipe cards, and some dyed papers, color dyed and coffee dyed papers in between. And I have punched holes and tied it up with a nice little twine, again adding to the rustic part of the project. I didn't want anything different. The entire thing is just falling in place. So this recipe book can definitely be used very practical to write down notes about your favorite recipes, hand-me-downs, whatever kind of recipes. Fits in snugly into this pouch, and then there you go. You need to just tie it and take it wherever you go, wherever places you visit on a holiday. You want to write down a recipe, you're visiting your friends, is there a favorite recipe, anything. It's just not a recipe book. You could definitely keep a little journal inside. So I have 3 little pouches in which I have made these recipe books. Mostly different fabrics here. Here's another fabric with nice blue color embroidery done here. Same stamps here as quotes, and then we have the postage stamp, and then some more denim flowers and rolled flowers. So this too has a recipe book inside. And then here I have a blank pouch. This is one with yellow flowers. I just love how the decoction, the coffee, gives it a varied brown color hue here and there patches. And then I wish you could really touch and feel how stiff the fabric is now compared to its original form. This is so soft, whereas this is really stiff. Okay. And then last but not the least, I wanted to tell you, like, there are different uses to this pouches. You could probably hold your makeup items when you're traveling. And recently, like I said, when I was on a holiday, I couldn't take all of my craft supplies. Nevertheless, I had this little pouch in which I had my Derwent color blocks, okay, a small little tissue, my water pen, and then my water brush pens. All these fit in nicely into these pouch, and then I just took a coloring book with me, and yes, it did come in handy when I wanted to do a bit of coloring on bad weather days. So yes, I just wanted to show you how you can use fabric scraps to create tiny little pouches, big pouches. The size is all your choice. Do not waste any scraps. And these pouches do come in handy whenever you're traveling or you want to gift someone. Definitely they look nice and vintage. So if you did like this video, do give me a thumbs up. I will keep coming back with more videos as and when. Your feedbacks are definitely welcome on this project. I will see you soon with more product shares, video shares, and tutorials. Bye-bye.